Dice paper roll is made on the lands of the Wurundjeri people and Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation and the Jagera people who have been telling stories on their land for tens of thousands of years. Always was, always will be, Aboriginal land.
This is my house. There is no escape. I decide who lives and who dies. Your souls belong to me now. The town of Valakai. Its streets lined with unlit bonfires and tiny rat pyres, waits with bated breath for the rain to clear. The townsfolk gathered in the square look on with dour faces as the burgomaster grows more and more impatient. In the square, a huge bonfire 2 stories high and doused with oil sits waiting for flame. Atop its peak, a thin and dirty old man is tied to a post. His gibbering and ranting echoes across the square, across the heads of the assembled townsfolk.
This sacrifice will truly keep Strahd from entering our town for many weeks. Only with the sacrifice of this madman can we ignite the festival of the burning sun. And as soon as the sun deigns to join us again, he will burn.
The burgomaster grows more and more enraged for the hours they have waited and waited for the sun to return, for the celebration of its noonday peak. Many grow restless, for they know that if something is not done soon, the burgomaster will turn his rage on them. 2 old men stand at the back of the crowd, one in a long feathered cloak, the other in priest's vestments, worry etched on their faces for what may be unleashed inside the walls. But little do they know, beyond the walls, in the surrounding forest, forces gather. Hulking shapes flit between the shadows of the trees, their hairy faces concealed by the endless night and thick foliage. Smaller shapes scurry and stagger amongst them. Once human, they wait their chance to feed. And above, far above, in the dark and ominous clouds, Strahd sits astride his burning horse, his nightmare. No velvet doublet now graces Strahd's chest, but armor, red as blood and shining with magic, encases him. Barding hangs from the sides of his nightmare steed Bucephalus as he waits for them to arrive. He waits to spring his trap and finally crush all resistance. He waits to crush his enemies. He waits for DPR, curse, of Strahd.
It's gonna be waiting a long time then.
No.
At least 10 eps.
You know what they say? Treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen.
Welcome, welcome. You have joined us at episode 34, DPR, Curse of Strahd, episode 34. This 15 episode show's gone really well, eh, Greg?
Just a cheeky 15.
Quick arc in and out. Quick pre-prepared
Right.
adventure.
Yeah. Dive into Barovia, kill Strahd, get the fuck out. Home for dinner. Home for breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Look, it's nice to explore how would I have known about the Festival of the Burning Sun had we had a quick fire adventure. You know, it's nice to see the sights, try the local cuisine, visit a little trip to we've been to the
Yeah.
winery, we've had an Airbnb.
We would have only
you know.
met one or two von Suchens.
There's been recreation activities on water. This is a bloody good holiday by anyone's
Skiing.
logic. Yeah. The sun could have been out a bit more, but you know, it's,
Yeah.
what do you expect in
A little less
Barovia?
murder.
Well, you know,
Well, I mean, like, if you go to Barovia, you go to Barovia.
when you go abroad,
When
these
in
things happen.
Barovia.
What happens in Barovia stays in Barovia.
That's right, yeah.
Forever.
Isn't that the problem? Yeah, there it is.
Bro Vegas, they call it. Yeah.
We are in. Yet to make any gambles though, which got to make that happen before the end of the night.
We
end
do
of the
roll
show.
a lot of dice.
That's true. Gambling with our lives, perhaps,
Mm.
just like the real Vegas. Well. My name is Emil. I play Sonny Bono, the sentient sword. He was once the singer, Sonny Bono, or at least he thinks he was, and now he is a sword. What happened in between? Well, I'll let you join those dots for yourselves. Because I haven't.
Gee, really? That wasn't
Uh,
obvious.
but- Ben. He's currently operating Baba Yaga's floating skull and looking out for the rest of the party who are in the rushing waters beneath him, who are and are in great peril. Or some of them anyway. That's me. Ben, you've rudely interrupted. You can carry on. from here.
Gladly.
Who are you? and who
Gladly.
do you play?
Well, I am Ben, and I play Ragyog, the Goblin Cleric of Lathander, who is the Morning Lord of Lord of Salvation and Rebirth and Hope, which we could all use a little in this current situation. Ragyog is currently bedraggled and soaking wet, clinging to the remains of Baba Yaga's cottage and really wishing that he had packed his floaties. Jack, over to you.
You could see I was writing. You still picked me
Ah,
next.
Yes.
It's rude.
Just because you were right.
Is there something you want to share with the class?
Ben's doing his teaching degree, so it's his technique to. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's his technique to get your attention back on side.
Exactly.
Jack, eyes up.
Is that a note, Jack? Pass. Show me. Read it for the rest of the class.
Says, I, Louise, fish back in water, which
Uh-huh.
is true. I did miss some words
Says
in
Louise for Greg.
there.
Oh.
Forever.
Aw.
Oh.
Boy. Well,
Yeah. First time for everything.
That's a meta game concept, the character falling in love with the DM. I'd like to explore that in a
I'm
further
It's
sure
game.
we will.
definitely Stockholm
Yes.
syndrome.
Maybe in the
Cut that
next
for now.
15 episode arc.
yeah. I feel like that could definitely be a one shot of some kind. Anyway, I'm currently trying to remember how to swim. I guess Louise has been in her armor for so long that she's forgotten a bit, you know. Just trying to role play, get into it. You know, I don't know if that's anything, but I think that might be something. How about you, Lauren?
Yeah, I'm Lauren. I play Irina Indirovich, who is a human sorcerer lady who also happens to have the soul or whatever of Tatiana, one of Strahd's great loves, inside her somewhere. And she's not doing swimmingly because she just couldn't swim. Just couldn't make it happen. Just kept trying and got a lot of rope from Greg on that, but is now feeling pretty deathy. Yeah, I think we finished on her rolling some death rolls last time, so she's just fucked. Not good times happening there. Really very unconscious in the water. Everything's flowing around her. Nothing's going her way. But she's going the way of the current.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, go with the flow kind of gal. Dan.
I'm Dan. I'm playing Sasha Von Suchin Such, the gnome wizard. Not very good with the spell casting, but currently had used a harpoon of from Esmeralda's mechanical leg to go do a little bit of water skiing, and is now safely perched upon the flying skull being piloted by Sunny, and frantically trying to keep an eye out for her friends below. Only seeing old mate Ragyog though. Can't see anybody else. Pretty dire straits. I kind of feel like they're running out of air. That's me. And Greg, you're the last one.
I am the last one. My name is Greg. I am the Dungeon Master for DPR does Curse of Strahd. I don't have to forget about any NPCs I'm supposed to be playing, which is good, as they were crushed by a giant log.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
as it rolled down the hill,
barely knew
which freed up the grappling hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah, but we
luckily
lost
freed up
Strahd's
the grappling.
diary. We've lost a whole bunch of things now too.
Yeah, I've lost a ton. Of
Also, who
stuff.
would have thought Esmeralda, the famed monster hunter, her only real contribution to this story would have been to supply the leg. You know,
I mean, also like some great jokes about libertarianism, but fine. Thanks for shitting all over that contribution.
hey, to the story, not to the comedy. Rich comedic,
The
character.
rich.
Rich comedic.
Famed comedian, not famed monster hunter.
So the river rushes on, and as you said, the floating skull, piloted by Sunny, floats high above. Ragyog clinging to the remnants of Baba Yaga's cottage, barely like a wet rat clinging to the side, and Louise gracefully slicing through the water in the center of the river, letting off bubbles like a Schweppes advertisement, effervescence sparkling in the water.
Can you see anyone, Sasha? Keep your eyes open. I'll move the ship down to where we can get him to safety. Can you see anyone?
I can't see much. I can't. Why do you keep speaking in a southern accent? I feel like you're taking the piss out of me.
I'm a very, very weak character. I really just take on the traits of those around me. I have no will of my own. I'll tell you what.
I've rolled an 8 on my perception. I can't really see much. You're driving too fast.
It's the only way I know.
Well, buckle up, buckaroo.
Sonny swings the skull around for another sweep of the
Use the nous.
turbulent water. I've only got one left. I want to save it till I really need it. But although I am weak-willed, and so he presses it.
The skull leaps forward, rocketing out past off the river. And Ragyog, you just watch it disappear into the distance. as the nos fires and the skull arcs
Bye,
out
Sasha.
over the
I hate to
forest.
see you go, but I love to watch you leave.
Oh, it goes faster now.
Dialing back about 10%.
Oh, well.
Louise rockets through the water, sending off bubbles in a spiral behind her, and she remembering being in the water, she begins to swim forward at great speed and suddenly bursts through the wall of muddy, roiling
Water.
water into clearer waters ahead. And suddenly you can see just ahead of you the figure, the limp figure of Irina, pulled along by a block of ice that encases her right hand, and her body hangs limply in the water as the ice drags her down. And Irina, for you, all is black until a familiar scene. A boat on a lake. But this time, your brother is right there. He's gripping the back. And as he pushes that boat out into the lake, his long black hair hanging straight on either side of his face, he looks up at you for what is the last time. His high cheekbones and strong chin, just like yours, but his eyes black and empty. Could you please make a death save for me?
That's just a D20, isn't it?
Yes, please. Yep.
It's a 3.
Fuck. Oh.
Irina, as the boat floats out, the image of your brother's face begins to fade. Everything begins to fade. The lake, the boat, until all is mist. All is mist around you. Louise.
Louise sees the figure ahead, and in time seems to slow down around her. She's suddenly back in the ocean in the past, swimming amongst the fishes, happy, and the bubbles are moving past her. Silt is moving past her. Great big giant sea creatures move in the distance. The shadows of these creatures bleed down through the water, and the caustics of the light piercing through the water hits the ground beneath her, and she sweeps down into the silt, and it plumes up around her in a big plume of dust, and suddenly she's back, and she swims as fast as she possibly can, launching up behind Irina, and attempts to tackle her into the air above the water, above them both. I don't know what that is.
Athletics, please.
10?
You have
It's
a
a pretty
swim
good role
speed.
play, though.
You also have a swim speed.
Inspiration.
So you 100% inspiration. Good call, Ben. Roll it with advantage, please, Jack.
What do I roll?
Just to roll it again. So here you go.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Take the highest.
11?
We're so good at this game, you know?
You swim down underneath Irina, the bubbles swirling around you in a corkscrew as you dive down and sweep up underneath her, catching her in your arms as you launch up and out of the water. Water fountaining off both of you as you leap out into the air, the effervescence of the bubbles soaking into Irina. And as you burst from the water, Irina vomits the murky, silty water all over you.
Oh, I shouldn't have had that ginger before. Oh.
And Ragyog passes right underneath them on the bit of cottage and reaches up Free Willy style. Louise! Irina! And then just keep sailing down the river.
Free, and just I think I remember that movie perfectly. Just like Free Willy, Louise and Irina fly up into the air and then slam down onto the remains of the cottage.
Louise is just completely winded.
Louise, is she okay?
I can't breathe. I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe.
I'd shove your face back into the water and I'd go, Irina! I'd shake Irina. Irina! Are you okay? Irina! Seeing that she's not responding, Ragyog uses a cantrip and, oh, morning lord, spare the dying, spare this subject in her hour of need. And it is spare the dying. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points, the creature becomes stable.
The energy courses through you, Ragyog, and you feel it blocked by the dark force that has been clouding your mind for so long.
Oh, no.
But the sight of Irina laying on this wrecked cottage floating among the debris just drives you. You push through that darkness. And you squeeze out the spell. You snap it off perfectly, and it soaks into Irina, and she stabilizes as the effervescence coming from Louise also soaks into Irina's skin, and her eyes flutter open.
And then I let Louise's head up out of the water and go, hold your breath. I'm not sure I have any healing spells left. Heal her.
Fuck. That's a big
Who?
call.
That's a weird accent you've got. I shove you back in the water again and then lift up.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's better.
That water has a strange effect on me. It is so silty.
Is it because all creatures that are in freshwater have Australian accents?
Quite possibly. And Louise launches her hand out and presses it on the icy hand. Oh, that is so cold. And she then moves it across to her wrist and lays her hand on her, and the healing energy pours out from her hand into Irina. And
That blue-green magical light swirls from you into Irina, and Irina, you vomit up more of the murky river water, but you're back and you're conscious.
Oh god. Oh
you got five extra hit points.
wow. How's about that plot armor then, huh?
Not quite as sturdy
Thank
as
you,
we,
Louise. Thank
as we
you.
thought.
And Ragyog, you've saved my life. I am eternally grateful.
You're welcome.
You don't know what it was like down there at the bottom of the river. I mean, I don't know what it was like either. I was definitely somewhere else.
Pretty
but anyway,
murky. I was down there for a little bit.
Rubbish. It was rubbish down
To be
there.
honest, I do actually know what it is
Like, honestly, so much rubbish. Like, I saw a million
I
chip
was down
packets.
there
I mean,
too,
do people not recycle here?
No.
Apparently not. It is a horrible disaster. The where this society just litters their chip packets and their Coca-Cola cans.
Yeah, I saw so many of them.
Sponsor us, please.
Pollution's hardly the most of our worries right now, I think, though, you two.
Where is everybody?
Ragyog casts his eyes around to make sure. Oh, well, the other two fucked off on a giant flying skull. I don't know. They just got a sudden boost of speed.
Wow.
Can you see that, like, jet of flame, like right off in the distance down there? That's
That's
them.
them?
The cast.
You're
Yeah.
kidding me.
And up in the sky, at the end of that jet of flame,
I'm honestly not that surprised. That is
Well,
appropriate.
I am glad out of everybody to have, I don't know, the 2 people capable of healing someone here. I'm quite happy that you stayed. Thank you.
You're very lucky. I only have that spell left.
Well, we're very, very, very lucky. Well, I guess we just stare at this jet in the sky, hmm?
As you guys, as your guys' awkward silence.
I'm very wet. I just almost died. I'm not expected to become some conversationalist straight away. I said thank you. We can move on.
I'm not sure who you're talking to, man. The light in the sky wheels around, and you see it come back towards you. All right, Sasha, I reckon if you jump on the back, try the water skiing thing again, where you can grab one of their arms or whatever. Maybe you can dive down into the water and we can pull you back up using the winch. What do you say?
Oh yeah, that could totally work. Am I gonna be able to scoop them all up though?
Only one way to find out.
What about if I shoot the harpoon into the house and we like tow him along? Or maybe they could climb up.
of this could occur.
What do you reckon?
I don't think I can't really see them very well, so I'm just going to leave that up to your discretion. But I just realized I haven't moved this out of second gear. And he moves it to like fifth and just goes like 3 times as fast as they speed back along the course of the river back towards.
Fuck you,
where the
Vin
cars
Diesel.
are. Quick! How about the boat? You can do it! You can
Oh
do
shit!
it!
I think they're coming back.
Do you guys hear a mosquito?
Yeah, it's something. It sounds like it's high pitched. It's fast. It's coming to us. Oh my god!
All right, Sasha, what are you doing?
Well, I think if I fire into the house, but I rolled a natural 5.
Oh damn!
With the harpoon leg. So I don't know if that's got any bonuses. I'm just gonna say it's like a strength, which is +0. So it's a 5.
It's a plus 20, right?
It's a-
Like,
Maybe a
weapon.
dexterity
Dex.
+2.
Yeah, +2, 7.
Stabs
7?
Irina straight through the chest.
Impales her back down onto
I'm saving them all.
You fire the second harpoon loaded into the leg down towards the cottage as it floats along the raging river, and you miss by a country mile.
You're going too fast, Sonny. You're going too fast.
You're also coming back up the river the opposite way to the raft, so like the crossover time is like very short.
And how fast are we moving on the river's surface? Still pretty quick.
Oh, I'd say like 40 or
50.
50 feet per second. Yeah.
What's that in knots, Greg?
Yeah.
It's-
Wait, let me. I have a
only know
rope here
films.
somewhere. Let me just tie some knots. I'll just chuck it out the
While
back.
Louise is doing that, Ragyog casts Fairy Fire, and in a 20-foot cube around Louise, myself, and Irina. Violet light shoots out and then settles over us in this kind of dust, and we are all covered in like a kind of fluorescent outline of violet light that will hopefully help the others see us.
amazing. Like the hypercolor cottage floats down the raging rapids. glowing
Hey!
like the inside of a laser tag arena.
Yes.
I'll see if I can slow down a little bit. Maybe we can get there. Oh, hang on a minute. There's a hoverboard mode. And just kind of the skull kind of drops and a big inflatable pad springs up underneath it as it becomes a hovercraft on top of the
Oh, that's so
river
convenient.
and is moving kind of maybe 5 or 10 feet faster than the speed of the river. Really not very fast at all. But steers it back in the direction of the violent.
Baba
light.
Yaga really underutilized this skull, I have to say.
It's the chitty chitty bang bang of
Right. You managed to pull it up alongside the cottage as it's bumping along in the river, and you just managed to stop Sasha before she fires the harpoon gun again at point blank range.
You need a ride?
We?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, what a,
You all,
Yeah, you.
okay. The three of you that are
Happy?
moving across, give me athletics
Whatever.
checks, please.
All right. I'm gonna roll a fucking physical.
oh
dice.
yeah.
Can I aid them and like reach out with one of my tiny gnomish arms
4.
Yeah, you can.
whilst hanging on to something as well?
Who are
Did you
you?
say athletics or acrobatics?
I'm gonna
I pick.
aid
Damn it.
Irina.
Yeah, I got a 19.
Oh,
Jeez.
Irina, can you roll again? You get advantage thanks to
Alright.
Sasha's aid.
Can I roll acrobatics?
Take my
'Cause I
strong
have a
arm.
+2 on that.
Sure.
Oh, 21.
Yes.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
Finally, a good dice roll. It's
You-
been some time.
And Louise, how did you go?
I rolled a 13 on the dice. So Louise kind of takes a couple of steps back and like goes into a sprinting position to do some athletics, and then waits for the gun, and then just kind of like hits the ground and then launches off, and that's a 20.
Ragyog
20.
and Louise leap perfectly across the gap onto the back of the skull, but Irina, still reeling from her near-death experience, leaps and as her foot, her last step, she slips on the wet floor of the cottage and tumbles forward, impacting into the side of the skull. And it's only Sasha's hand out the side that reaches down and grasps you just before you, Irina, before you plunge back into the water, and Sasha
Gotcha.
hauls you back into the skull.
Oh, Sasha, I've never seen such amazing strength for such a tiny person.
The fuck's that supposed to mean?
I'm impressed.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
I'm glad you're
I've not
impressed.
come across that way.
I'm impressed. Thank you. You're the third person to save my life today. Thank you, Sasha. I'm being very useless, aren't I?
No,
Thank
you're doing
you.
great.
Oh, that's really nice of you to say. I think
Third
I
person.
need-
Guess I'm just
I
driving
needed
the
to hear
car.
that right now. Yeah.
Sorry, Sonny, did you say
You're
something?
gonna turn the
Fine,
skull around.
Irina.
No, it's fine. I'll roll the window up and like a chauffeur's window goes up in between
Oh, this,
all of you.
This
and
feels so much more familiar. I do appreciate it.
Also, a mini bar pops up in the middle.
Oh, I could murder a vodka right now. Or some of that wine that we had back at the camp.
Should we maybe land this thing on like dry land before we start drinking and driving?
No, we're in the back. He's
Yeah.
in the front. He can't drink.
Bloody
He
Mary,
can
anybody?
drink. Yes, thank you.
Wait! I can't drink? Oh shit!
You can't hear us. The thing is up. The thing is up. You can't hear
You
us.
can't
It's an
hear
open
us.
top.
We can say anything.
It's literally an upside down giant
Can't
skull.
hear us.
Yes.
All right, so where are you flying this upside down giant skull, Sonny?
Uh,
Ragyog whips out the tourist map of Barovia.
10%. Dial it back 10%.
Jesus. Ragyog whips out from his backpack the tourist map that was in the wagon that took them on the wine tour with the map of Barovia and goes, hey, this might help, Sonny. I mean, it's fucking soaking wet and torn in a few places, but have a look at this.
Haven't you learned anything? I'm a Republican. I can't read.
Hey, weren't you talking about like some festival or something that was going on?
Well, we have already started drinking. A festival sounds about right. And Sonny flicks the hoverboard switch again, and the thing just kind of really unsatisfyingly just kind of and like slowly
Just deflates.
For a really long time.
Yeah. Oh, that's a manual. You got to pop that back in manual. When we get a sec, we'll just make sure.
gotta tuck it in.
Everyone
away.
spends 10 minutes hanging over the side, tucking the fucking inflatable bits back in.
I just got this side, but once I put this side in, it falls out on the other side. So after you holding onto it, you've got to hold on to it while I'm doing it. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
wait.
Are you doing
Yeah,
it
the
at the same
clips-
time as
clips
me?
are
I'm trying.
You're not doing it
No,
at the same time, otherwise it's never going to go in.
I'm doing it at the same time.
Gotta work as a team.
Oh my god. I
I
can't
think
do
you
this.
have to put the
Ah,
guy
God damn it. Who
ropes
broke a
in.
clip? I can see it. It's over here. Someone broke
All
the
right, we're
goddamn
ready
clip.
to zip it up. I'm ready to zip
Where
it
did
up.
this
Team
peg
building
come
exercise.
Is this peg
On 3.
useful?
Ready? 1, 2. No, on 3. I said
Sorry.
on 3. Not before. God damn it.
It's like build a bike.
Guys, I didn't mean you actually had to role play out 10 minutes to stick.
I mean, we could.
Mate, you give us these, like, what do you want from us? You put it out there, we're going to take it. We're going to take it, all right?
All right. Let's
15-minute arc, in and out. Okay.
15,
Can we? What if we
15
had a
episodes.
montage of the 10 minutes?
Yeah, perfect.
that goes for 9 minutes. A 9-minute montage.
9 minutes and 50 seconds.
We cut it down 5 seconds.
Yeah, 6 minutes and 50 seconds of it was intro. So you tuck it all into the skull and take off, and you're heading to
Festival, baby.
Valentine.
Road trip
Burning
to the
sun, the Burgermeister is awaiting, all right.
Velica, I believe.
Someone's gonna need to give me directions.
Okay, so you follow the river down, and you can see as you lift further into the air, the Valley of Barovia lays out beneath you, and you raise up to just below the hanging clouds that now just carpet the sky of Barovia, and you can see the valley laid out before you for the first time, and the Castle Ravenloft at the front of the valley spears up through those dark clouds, and you can see behind you the mountains that ring either side of this enormous darkly forested valley. To your left, the north, the Wizard of the Wines sits clearly in a clearing to the north off the road.
I can
and
see
the-
clearly now. The rain has gone. Sorry, I'm not gonna
And it starts to rain.
and further down, you can see the river meanders its way further down the valley and passes the town of Valakai to enter the Great Lake that sits beside it. And as you reach up at this higher level, it's clearly nighttime. It's really dark, and you can see more clearly into the distance the black miasma of darkness that surrounds the mountains to the north.
As we're kind of flying through the air and whatnot, Sasha's taking like a lot of interest in the controls of how this thing is flying, because it's got like the black tentacles and stuff, like the same as her what is it? Eduardo's
black tentacles.
Eduardo's black tentacle. Pretty sure that's it.
Eduardo's black tentacles.
It is.
Eduardo's black tentacles. I don't know.
And so I just kind of want to do like a little bit of like a kind of investigation and see if this thing is kind of using the same kind of magic as what that is.
Yeah, do an Arcana.
Arcana.
Do you push any buttons? Just a question.
Just in case you wanted to know as well,
17.
in Spanish, Eduardo Tentaculo Negro.
There you go.
Okay, thanks, Google. Sorry about my pronunciation.
Thanks.
Arcana plus 8.
I believe
on
it's
a
Tentaculo.
17. It is a
Tentaculo
25.
Negro. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you are able to see the. You watch the tentacles, and you sort of hang out when you've been hanging out the side, ducking in the inflatable hovercraft component. You can see underneath the skull there's this dark magical energy that's sort of tinged through with purple, and it exactly matches the same sort of aura that you have seen. All of this magic is interlinked. So the darkness that comes from the mountains in the north, what drives this vehicle, that the energy that Baba Yaga summoned, it's definitely all from the same source, and you're almost certain it's connected to
The great old one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Sasha is just like taking a great interest in it all and just going like, oh, this is amazing. Everything's so that I can feel his power in this. It's incredible.
What's so amazing, Sasha?
You lay
Sorry?
your hand.
These subwoofers and Sonny presses the play on the stereo track, and it's. Oh, sorry, I haven't repaired that yet.
The radio's
Somebody
out.
knocked it when we were trying to put the hovercraft back in.
I'm
God.
sorry.
Try it again, Sonny.
As you're arguing about the subwoofers, Sasha, you place your hand.
Oh, he's gone.
Suspense. The suspense. What do you place your hands
Did
on,
anyone
Sonny?
else just lose Greg?
We've lost our
Lost
DM.
Greg.
Sus
He's
Gregs.
there. I see him.
Time to take this baby
There he
for
is.
a ride.
We can see you back.
There you're back.
He's back.
Oh no, he's
Oh,
gone.
he's gone
again.
again.
And he's
It's like
gone.
a peekaboo.
Well, everyone, I'd like to welcome our new DM to the show, Jack, who will be DMing the remaining episodes of DPR.
If you want to DM, you can just follow our Patreon.
www.patreon.com/dice paper roll.
Ben's got his. I'm gonna cut all this face on.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. This is what comes through the radio as he hits the subwoofer.
You're back.
Do you like your D&D podcast stupid? Do you like him full of fart jokes? Listen to Dice Paper Roll.
I don't think this channel is working.
It's not working for me, that's for damn sure. Somebody changes the channel.
I detest talk back. Everyone's just blabbering on about nothing. And they don't know a thing about politics.
Does your nightmare horse have worms?
Yes, it has so many worms.
I was going to say it changes to one of our episode descriptions from like book 1. What's the value of a true friend? This week on DPR, we find out by selling our good mate Amon's organs for Bitcoin. Also, Chantala Bansbury deprives herself of sleep for your entertainment. And for the first time on the airwaves, we bring you a selection of cured meats.
Oh, I miss writing those. They were great. They were so good. That was you. That was all you, Emil.
That one? I don't remember.
Yeah. First on the airways, a selection of cured meats. That's definitely you, right?
So that because it's a free
Yeah,
gag?
meat
or-
talk.
Yeah.
Massively.
Cured meat talk. Okay, so Sasha, you place your hand on the console and you can feel the energy coursing through the,
Oh, I feel the energy.
skull. Yeah, you feel it, and you feel it reach out towards you as well, and it connects with you, and you feel that you can you feel a real power there that you can draw on to augment your own abilities. You know through your arcane study that if you draw on this power, it will make you much stronger than
Is any of
before.
that visible to others?
Just Sasha putting her hand on the console. That's all
Okay.
you can see.
Such big worms.
Hey,
Are you
I'm just gonna turn that radio down. hey, baby. And Sonny pushes Sasha's hand off the dash. No hands on the dashboard.
Don't touch my hand.
Don't touch my dash.
It's not yours. It's mine.
It's not mine either. It's
No,
Probably
you
yours,
don't
but-
understand. It's
No.
him. He's here.
Who's here?
I'm always with you,
Oh, that's so lovely.
Sasha.
Oh, I'm so. Oh my God! I can't believe it's you. I can't believe I'm hearing your voice. It's
You're
so good.
finally here, the chosen. Such and such.
Oh, don't. No, come on. I still haven't seen Hans and Bertrand and Gerald and you know,
Take
Deborah.
my boon and
Oh.
take your place.
Of course. Of course.
Sasha, who are you talking to?
Sasha, do you draw on that energy?
her eyes just kind of roll back in the back of her head.
You okay?
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
I get a
awesome.
boon? Give me a boon. I'm all about boons.
So as you're flying down across the forest towards Valakai, Sasha holds out her hand, and you try to swat it away, Sunny, but you're unable to move her. She's suddenly like solid as a rock, and you see her hand placed on the console, and suddenly, Ragyog, you can see very clearly the black, tinged with purple tentacle energy reach up around her arm, and you hear a whisper in your own ear. She has accepted the gift, Ragyog. Will you join her? Will you take your rightful haunted house?
No.
And the energy sucks up into Sasha as she holds her hand on the console, and the skull loses energy as she draws it into her
Oh.
body, filling her
didn't know that.
with the dark
Oh,
energy, and the skull
shit.
rocketing through the air suddenly just conks out and loses, and the trajectory just arcs down as you all cling desperately to the back of this skull.
Quick,
It rockets
hover function,
down,
hover
falling
function.
towards
Everyone, unzip the inflatable. I'll take that side. You take this
down
side. Come
towards
on.
the
you can
town
do
of
it.
Valakai.
Ragyog's hitting the E-stop button.
Damn, this clasp is broken. I can't get it out.
I think if we unfurl this inflatable, maybe we can make it a parachute.
Irina's found like a little tube and is like blowing into it manually to try, and there's a little light that she's using to try and attract attention. We're gonna everyone grab a valve. Grab
You
a
didn't do up the
valve.
belt first. You didn't do up the belt first. You pop the inflatable as the skull rockets down, collapsing down through the air. And Sasha, your two hands placed on the console, this energy wrapping around you and surrounding you. And Ragyog reaches out and grasps you to try and pull you away.
And I also cast Bless on her at the same time.
Okay, you reach out and that energy arcs up your arm, but you push back with the bless, the light of Lathander pushing back against the darkness of the great old one. But the skull just falls out of the air, this huge inflatable hovercraft ring underneath as it rockets down into the town of Valakai. smashing into the tiled roofs of the Burgomaster's mansion and skipping off and crunching down just through past the crowd into the base of the bonfire as it teeters, and the crazy old man tied to the pole falls towards you, his face laughing maniacally, a face, Sasha, which you very much recognize. And I think that is the perfect place to end this episode of DPR Does Curse of Strahd.
Hey, if you want to stick around till the end of the show, then you get a little taste of what we do on Patreon every week, which is a little loose 10 minutes with the tight 5. So stick around for that. And then sign up for Patreon also, because then you get all of them, not just this one-off little taster baggie, because we're going to get you hooked.
First taste is free.
Wait, what's my boon? What'd I get?
Hi, I'm Cart Chelman, and I'm here to sell you a skull.
What kind of skull, Chuck?
It's a skull that's upside down and flies around. It's got all the features you need. Think of a feature you need. What do you need?
Well, say if I wanted to float down a river on a skull, does it have a feature for that?
Well, press this button here. Concerned citizen.
Okay. Boop.
That there's a raft.
No way, that is so amazing.
Is that an optional extra?
No, that's included.
What other features does it have?
What if I've caught like 40 or 50 beavers and want to store them underneath my raft? What do I do?
Well, in that case, you need to... I've lost my accent. It has multiple accents.
Gee, the talking computer in this thing is amazing.
My wife and I own at least 5 skulls, and we're happy with all of them. Thank you.
Just say, hey, Skelly.
Seriously, he said that he was just going to kick a tire, but I was so happy when he came back with a skull.
And I said, Dad, is it the flying kind?
He said no.
I've been Cart Chelman. You can buy a skull whenever you like. Just $3.99.
Except Sundays, not open on Sundays.
Praise the Catholic gods and all that they do for us. And the old one.
Spoken by the Liberal Party Canberra.
Spoken by the Liberal Party.
This week on Survivor, Dan betrays the party. What will they do?
Again.
Again. Why do they look so surprised?
Fucking sushi.
I didn't
When will
know
we
that
ever
was gonna
learn?
happen.
We will
Like you
never
didn't.
learn.
Hey,
No, I had
Hey-
no
hey, everyone.
idea that he was going to do
everyone. No one levels up except Dan.
that. Yes.
Also, I'm just thinking,
I got a full level up.
a suture is a stitch, and this is a fucking
Yeah.
stitcher.
Yeah. Stitch and stitch. They'll stitch you up.
Yeah.
This
Snitches
should
get
have seen this
stitches,
from
buddy.
the
Blinded by her
start.
beauty,
Yeah.
Ragyog.
Stitch and snitch.
The signs were there.
Yeah.
Just a pretty face.
Stupid.
No, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Well, except for crashing our
mean,
sick
I
car.
didn't know that
I
was
feel
going
like
to
sort of-
happen, all right? I had no idea that was going to
You
happen.
just embraced.
I feel like tentacles,
Yeah.
like anything that's like black and purple in its like aura is like a bad guy, right? That's the bad colors one can only assume.
I mean,
Or have you just watched so much hentai that you don't care anymore, Sasha?
That sounds like the opinion of the white patriarch to
I agree.
me.
no, like, I mean,
And I would know.
there is all kinds of gods and there are all kinds of, people who, some say it's like a cult, other people call it a religion. When does it like not one or the other, And so just because I worship a particular kind of God and I'm down with him and you're not all about it, doesn't mean that he's
Yeah,
bad.
I would have done the same thing. I would have
You
done
know?
the same thing
God
for
that'll
sure. I would have
crash my car from
taken the
high in
burn.
the sky.
It
Taken
lost
the
the
burn,
energy.
100%.
I took the energy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nothing wrong with taking the boon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Free level
Mhm.
up.
Yeah,
I mean, come.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I felt like that was both a very serious thing because a very serious episode because Irina almost died, but also that was insanely silly, and the image of you guys
What about
trying to save us was absolutely amazing and hilarious, and my mental image is going to stay with me for some time. But also, just Jack, that wonderful description at the top there of you remembering how to swim and that kind of like imagery of like past and present kind of, coming together. I thought that was just wonderful. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
thank you.
Nice
yeah.
job.
All I wrote down is go to your memories, and I did.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah.
From when you
Very
learned to
nice.
swim deep sea
Yeah.
diving with
Scuba diving. Yes.
All those trips to
Yeah.
Bali.
Yeah, by the way, Jack's a paddy dive master
yeah.
and is offering free
Is that what
You
she
don't
was
have-
doing right
Yeah.
before we met her in the lake outside Valakai? She was actually just doing scuba diving because I always thought she was just swimming around when she came up. But no,
Maybe,
scuba diving in
yeah.
the shallows.
She had fish
Sorry,
with her,
Lauren.
didn't she?
No, she was
Yeah.
scuba diving looking for chip
Yeah.
packets.
Chippies.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
She was doing community service. She'd been kicked out of the communist revolution because she wasn't doing her bit.
Oh,
I don't know.
what did she do?
Oh,
Plot
What do you
twist.
mean she wasn't doing her bit?
Trouble in Paradise.
That's why you got to sign up for Patreon, folks, so you can hear this sort of stuff.
Mm.
Oh yeah, because we're about to cut you off if you're not from Patreon. So. Sorry, this is a patrons only. If you want to find out what Louise did,
Get out of my room.
better go and sign
Not
up $1 a
dead.
month. Are we worth $1 a month to you?
I'll also explain how Sonny got from being a Republican senator and former pop star to being a sentient sword, but only if you cough up.
And I'll explain how Esmeralda chose libertarianism.
Hey, if you want to hear the rest of this conversation, folks, make sure you head over to patreon.com/dicepaperroll and you can have the pleasure of listening to the rest of it for as little as $1 a month. Bye.